that. How does it look from your, oh, recording. Good. All right. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride.
Sorry, I'm waiting for everyone's cameras to come back. I think a connection cuts out. Okay, so one more time. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Happy Pride.
Happy
Happy
Pride!
Pride.
We are from the Kenneth Young Center, LGBTQ Center, and we're super, super excited that your wellness team has asked us to do a short intro video talking a little bit about Pride Month, Pride celebrations, and just all things celebrating the LGBTQ plus community. So my name is Donna. My pronouns are they, them. I'm the LGBTQ plus Center project lead here at Kenneth Young Center. And we are located right on Algonquin Road, neighbors to Harper College. So we would love, love, love to continue our partnership with your school and have fantastic relationships with your staff and students and continue to build community and to build affirming spaces for LGBTQ plus people. And I'm joined here today by some lovely, lovely colleagues of mine. We can all go around, do some name, pronouns introduction. I'll start with Anton.
Cool, thanks. Well, I'm Anton X. I go by he, him, they, them, and currently being told that I am the HIV prevention lead and phlebotomist. And then I'll just pass it over to Marissa.
Hi everyone, my name is Marissa. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I work at the LGBTQ Center, and I run our middle school, high school, and young adult groups.
Cool. Hey, Marissa. I'm Tulio. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a project associate with the substance use prevention services that we have here.
An amazing advocate for LGBTQ youth. Everyone's obsessed with Tulio. This is known. Thank you all so much for being with me this morning. Really excited for the huge month we have together ahead. Like, it's definitely going to be a busy month. But we're excited about it. So we want to get started here with a couple like rapid fire trivia questions. And these are hopefully things that you don't know about Pride already and just like Pride celebrations. I tried to pick things that maybe are less common, less known. So let's just get into it, see who can get anything right. Whoever does gets a flag or something, which you already have because it's at the office. Good. All right. So question number 1. In what city was the first ever U.S. Pride Parade held a year after Stonewall? A, San Francisco. I'm gonna give you choices. This is hard. A, San Francisco. B, New York. C, Chicago. Or D, Boston.
Mhm.
I don't think we have a buzzer. I think it'd be better. Tulio, did you buzz in first? I heard you.
No, I didn't.
I don't. Should we just like zzz, like? Is that our buzzer? What's our buzzer sound?
We have to yeah, we each have to have a buzzer sound.
Yeah.
That's my buzzer. If I can remember it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna roar.
I love that. If I may take a guess, I don't remember the letters, but I think it was New York City was like exactly a year after the Stonewall riots.
That's a great guess, Marissa, because obviously that's where Stonewall was. But y'all want to hear something? Chicago Pride Parade happened one day before. So I was like, yes. So little unknown fact. I'm so glad that nobody else knew that because I didn't know it either.
That's so neat.
Yes. All right, question number 2. Marissa already knows this one. Just gonna put that out there. Where in the world is the largest Pride celebration? In what city? Option 1, New York. 2, London. 3, Mexico City. And 4, Sao Paulo.
And
Okay.
so I think I was gonna say New York, but and then I decided like Mexico City. Clearly, like come on now, come on now. We're talking about a festive parade. Oh, Mexico City.
On. My heart is with you 100%. The correct answer is 4, Sao Paulo, Brazil.
I was gonna say that. I don't know why it sounded random to me because it's not random, but like I was like, that's the one probably. But oh well.
Maybe the next time, maybe you'll take this next stab. I forgot what your sound was, but maybe we'll hear it and you'll be like, this is the one. Great
You'll know,
guess.
you'll know what my sound is.
All right, y'all. Last one for the team here. Let's do it, Q Crew. This is a true or false. Okay.
Ooh.
True or false? At the first recorded LGBT uprising in the US, queer protesters were recorded to throw donuts and coffee at the police who were harassing and mistreating them. True or false?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say true. Wasn't that the like Compton cafeteria one?
Ooh,
No.
you're right.
No, I don't know.
The answer is true. So I don't know. We don't have like a thing, but snaps for Tulio.
Or something.
Are you
know?
familiar with Cooper Donuts in Los Angeles?
No, I mean I'm not familiar with it, but that's yeah.
Yes. So everyone always credits Stonewall or thinks of Stonewall as the first, and it was a pivotal event for us, absolutely. But the first recorded was actually in 1959. A group of LGBTQ individuals who were fed up with being mistreated by police revolted at Cooper Donuts in Los Angeles. So that's probably the first one. And reportedly, they were throwing, a lot of trans women were out here throwing uh, donuts, coffee, paper plates, anything that they could find at Cooper Donuts. So there you go.
They should.
As they should.
They should.
Awesome, y'all. Well, good job. Round of applause to everybody. Thank you so much for your participation. Hopefully you learned something new. We wanted to get started too with asking a couple questions of y'all too, just reflecting on your individual experiences. So first question is, when was your first ever Pride experience at all? And what do you remember most about it?
Ooh, I can go first. I don't exactly remember how old I was. I was definitely a little gaby in high school when I went to my first Pride Parade in downtown Chicago. And I vividly remember I was not out to my like family at that time. And there was a group of parents at that Pride Festival offering hugs, offering moral support to closeted queer kids. And I just remember like hugging one of these people and bawling and just feeling so loved unconditionally, so accepted. It is definitely a huge highlight in my like Pride memories.
For me, it's kind of like crazy because I was in a school GSA in high school, and as a gay as well, it was so cool. Like that's my first time actually being amongst like a collection of gay people or like queer people in general. So it was pretty amazing. And then we end up being able to fundraise to actually get to like the Chicago Pride and walk in it. Wow, it was a long walk, but the experience was worth every step. Honestly, it was just really amazing. I think my biggest memory was just like all the different like variety, right? Like real diversity I saw in queer people and like what that looked like. I think it's been bringing me back every year since.
Yeah, I also well I like for the parade part, I was in the parade when I was well I went to Long Beach Pride. Long Beach Pride in California was my first Pride. And yeah, I was in the Long Beach Junior Roller Derby. So like our junior team and like the adult league, we like skated through together and it was like really cute. But it wasn't like that memorable. The most memorable Pride, which is like the second Pride I ever went to, I remember I went with like an ex of mine and we were like making out And then all of a sudden, I felt like little droplets of some sort of liquid on my leg. And I turn, and it's some man pissing up against the fence. So that's my first thought. But Pride is great. It's great though. It was just that moment was not cute. But that's
Tulio, that is so terrible. Oh my God. But that's just awful. Oh my God. Like, you really, it's a lot of people like that come to these now. It is a lot of people. So, of course, it's like some random cross between like a night at a club and a GSA party and like a Cub game. Like, it's somewhere in between. Like, you really can't win.
Rather true.
What about your first Pride experience?
Oh, so I would say I definitely had a lot of similar that feeling. My first Pride was when I was in high school, and we went to. I'm from the suburbs. We went to a the closest like I forgot where it was. Maybe it was like the Yellow Line or something like. No. Not remembering. But we took the train down to Chicago and got off in Boys Town, and just was overwhelmed. I had never seen so many people in LGBTQ like apparel and people that look like me and people that didn't, and I had never seen that because of where I'm from in the suburbs. Like we just didn't have any type of representation of queer people, and definitely not very diverse. So I think that my first feeling was just being kind of similar to what um, you all kind of said, of that feeling of like a whoosh that comes over you where you're like, dang, where have you guys been? Like you were out here this whole time. um, but I have my fair share of, I'm sure we all have our fair share of like the not so cute stories about it, just because, people. But we'll save that, for all of us, we got to do that sometime. Thank you for asking, Marissa. Second question for y'all is what advice do you have for someone who's never been to a Pride celebration before? It doesn't have to be a parade, but just any Pride thing before. What advice do you have for them?
I would say if they're able to go with a group. I think that's where I got the best experience. So I've been through some prides alone, and it's like roaming literally through the jungle, literally through the jungle. So I would say if they're able to bring like another person or two, definitely make the most out of the experience with some queer friends. And I think that'll kind of help bring in safety as well as like that experience.
I would suggest sunscreen. You think you're not going to need it. You think you're not going to be outside all day. You will be. Sunscreen and water, so, so important. Do not forget.
yeah, I think those are all. I 100% agree. Stay hydrated. Um, Stay hydrated. Have water always. I think I mean, at least the ones I've been to, I think it's been weird because you know how they have like the security checkpoints or whatever, and like I don't think they let. I feel like I've had issues with that when I brought my like water bottle. So it's drama, but just try to, I don't know, stay hydrated because there's lots of dancing, all sorts of things. Like I don't know, anxiety. Have your water bottle. Yeah.
That's so true. You have like your physical friends, and then you have like your supply friends, which is your water, your sunscreen, whatever shade you can possibly bring. So that's good. My advice would be to, I guess if it's your first time, I also think knowing that it can be overwhelming, I guess. It might not be, there might not be that many people, and it could be very chill and just a very calm event. But if you ever do find yourself being overwhelmed, like it's okay to kind of like step out, come back. And it's also okay when you're meeting a bunch of new people and it's really exciting. Like you don't have to give your information out to everybody that you meet, like you'll see people again. This is just the beginning of some of these relationships. So kind of weird advice, but that's what came to mind. Um, Last question for us here, folks. Why do you personally think that Pride celebrations are important if you do?
Yeah, I can go first. I feel like we're going in an order now. So yeah, I feel like it's important in terms of remembering, remembering the past, and celebrating the present, and looking forward to the future too, like that whole kind of, you know, and yeah, I feel like it's kind of as somebody who like navigates substance misuse, it can be a bit of a struggle sometimes, because it's a mix of navigating that while also having like the mental illness, that can also make things appear more overwhelming or feel extremely overwhelming or like overstimulating. And so it's hard. And then just also I'm like thinking about like experiences I've had, the experience I mentioned, with this like cis white man pissing like right next to us when we were like clearly having an intimate moment, um I don't know, just like it's really also a moment to really reflect on just the different privileges and stuff that some queer people experience, and also like it's things that you're aware of, but because it's in such a big space and like so many people are there, it's very like in your face, and I don't know, it's just interesting to say the least.
I think pride is so important. Just the sense of like community that you get that a lot of us don't feel either in our schools or at home is just like so positive and just so comforting to know that you really aren't alone, and there are all these people who have gone through similar experiences who you don't feel like you have to explain yourself to, and I think that is such like a liberating and amazing experience. So I absolutely love pride.
And yeah, I would pretty much echo what Marissa said, is that, yeah, like pride seems to be like the soul of the community, right? Like where we can be who we want to be as ourselves around other people who want to be themselves, right? So that's why I think it's so important, so important. And for me, it's very important, is that time of year where I could really be full Anton X, right? Is that time of year where I could come out and say, hey, like there are no boundaries by society and things of that nature. So no, for me, I mean, literally a year without pride was like I missed a little bit, right? I missed something that normally I would have had throughout the year, that boost of energy, you know?
Yeah, Anton, I totally feel you. Last year with the Chicago Pride Parade being canceled, and like really seeking other places like BG Pride and like other local areas that were doing, forgot, is it Elgin or some other places were also doing some reverse parades, right? Um, that was so needed to have a little bit of that hope. But I really appreciate how in our circle that we have here at the center, we can be really honest about some of the drawbacks and some of the things that we find very difficult about finding community, and then also celebrate um, the amazing things about Pride, like everything that y'all stated. So I just appreciate you all being real and being honest about um, the reality of building community, which is that there's always going to be a lot more that can be improved and that we need to actually work on, um, while celebrating the history here. And so I think you all summed it up perfectly. I don't have anything else I have to add as to why I think pride is important. Um, if anybody else has anything that they want to share, I was going to highlight some upcoming events right now. Is that cool? Does anyone want to say anything else? Okay, y'all are amazing. Really appreciate you. Um, Harper community, we are super thrilled to be your neighbors. As we stated earlier, we have an LGBTQ center down the road, and at the center we have drop-in nights that are for middle school groups, high school groups, and young adult groups. So a lot of you fall in that category. We've had a lot of Harper students before in that 18 to 24-year-old range, and at those drop-in nights, You might meet some of us and be offered resources. You know, you can always connect with Anton to learn more about testing and aftercare and getting sexual health resources, talking with Tulio and Marissa, doing all types of special events, and myself. And we are really here for that. And we're going to post information on our website, which you can find. But we also really wanted to plug that this Friday we have a Pride event, which will be the first ever Northwest Pride Fest, just because it is a week before your Pride Fest as well. So it's perfect. So it's a perfect month to really get connected and start doing what we're talking about here, which is building community. So Northwest Pride Fest will be this Friday at Trickster Cultural Center. We will have drag queens, performers, resources that you can talk to, a free zine, an art workshop. There's going to be raffles and giveaways. And the retired MMA fighter Fallon Fox is going to be there to give a keynote address. She's phenomenal. So excited to meet her. Super nervous about meeting her, but she's really nice. So it'll be cool. Those who come also get discounts at Umbrella Tea House and Menchie's and all types of gift cards from local businesses. So it would be super, super awesome to see some of y'all there. You can actually meet all of us in person, in flesh, in flesh. It's the worst thing I've ever said in my life. To register for that, to get more information, you can go to bit.ly/VidaX21. Oh, bit.ly/Vida21X. I get that confused, but we'll put it in the caption, or maybe Beth can help us out with that too. And also, we're going to be at the Harper College Pride Fest, which we're super, super excited for. That's going to be June 25th at 2 p.m. That's when the Pride Walk is going to kick off. And then there's a Zumba class at 3 p.m. So super, super excited about that. We really hope to meet y'all there. And if you ever have any questions, you can email us at lgbtqcenter@kennethyoung.org. And on that, happy Pride.
Bye.